Hi guys, so today I'm actually filming on my vlogging camera. I've just been lazy, so I usually film on my iPhone, but I felt like, I should step it up. So today I got advice for how do I come up with my aesthetics, how do I come up with shoot concepts, and at what point do you stop wearing all hats at once? Usually when I do a shoot, I'm always inspired by something, whether it's some old clothes my friend gave me and I just kind of want to mess it up and create something. I feel like that's more of my creative gift where I literally want to transform things. But if you don't think in that kind of way, it's okay because you have Pinterest, we have Instagram, we have books. There's so many sources of inspiration. I think the main thing you have to ask yourself is, what do you want to create and what kind of story do you want to tell? Those are like my two most important things when I think about a shoot concept. So lately I've been obsessed with my horoscope, which is I'm a moon Aries, which is fire, and I'm a sun Pisces. So I've been kind of obsessed with the elements, so I've been playing with like water shoots, fire shoots, like you'll see it all. And so that's kind of where my head is at. Another simple thing that you could do if you don't actually have a concept ready, like I did, is just, go on Pinterest and type whatever you're interested in. So for me, I type in like high fashion, editorial, beauty, Asian models. Like I would be so freaking specific because that's just the things that I like and I want to recreate for my book. I would just gather all those images, I would put them on like a little photo grid, and then I'll place it right here of kind of what my mood board looks like. And yeah, it's as simple as that. Photos that you like, you put it together and you're like, okay, let's do this. And so let's talk about the recreating aspect. Okay, so what we don't want to do is, look at the photo and copy the exact same thing. But actually that's kind of the wrong mindset because there's just no way you could recreate the same thing. You're not the same person, you're not the same artist, and you don't have the same mind. What you could do is, oh, so I like this makeup look on the eyes. So take that concept and be like, okay, so how can I evolve it to me? How can I evolve it to my culture? How can I evolve it to my aesthetic? Right? Okay, so there's another photo. Oh, actually, you know what? I like this blue background. Okay, so I have these colored eyes and this blue background. What kind of story could I tell? And the color blue is a very emotional color, so I would think of something sad, something of solitude, something emo. Like that's where my mind would go. Or I would immediately go to like water, ethereal, fairy goddess type. So the thing about recreation, it's the power of your imagination. So it's whatever kind of world you want to create, do it. And yeah, I say trial and error is the best thing for mood boards and creating concepts. And say you're not that established yet and you don't have a team yet. Well, you have friends, don't you? Friends who would be down to shoot you, friends who would be down to do your makeup. And honestly, that's kind of how it all starts out with. It's just friends messing around, having fun, taking photos. And I feel like when you do that a couple times and you get used to it, you start working with like professionals and start contacting them when you have really good work to show, because people only want to work with people who will give them value to their work or help them grow. To figure out what your value is. Concepts, it could be in modeling, you just kind of have to figure that out for yourself. I can't tell you that. Question about wearing all hats at once. So this is something very common. When you start out in the industry, you kind of have to do everything for yourself. And you know what? I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I just think maybe it's tiring for you because you're doing too much. So maybe just stick with a more simplistic and minimal concept. You don't have to do like crazy looks, because what if that's not your style and you're just doing it, for social media? Like you don't want that kind of interpretation. When you create something you genuinely like, something that you genuinely will feel proud of. And sometimes when we look at other people's work, we're like, oh, I like that, but is that me? So I always ask myself that before I take on any inspiration or save anything on my IG. It's like, is that something I would do? Does that align with my values? And I feel like just asking these questions helps you form the concept in your head and what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. So yes, I'm gonna say you're going to have to wear a lot of hats for a long time. unless, you know, you keep developing with your friends, and then your friends talk about you to their other friends, and it kind of just goes like in a circle. Because the thing about the LA industry, it is very small. You know, the longer I'm in it, I realize, wow, like I know everybody. And it's because I have been here for like 7 years, working, grinding my butt off. So that's why I know about these things. And yeah, a lot of my shoots, I still wear my own hat, and I still style myself because I just like the way I look when I style myself versus someone else sometimes. I have a really dope concept and really dope fashion designers. I'm totally up for it. But yeah, I just start with doing some more simple concepts if, you know, wearing all hats is too much. And you don't necessarily have to do a crazy makeup look for every kind of look. It can just be the focus on the clothes, or the focus on the makeup, or the focus on the modeling. Like, it doesn't have to be all 3 in 1. And I think that's where you get tired. I'm also learning that when you shoot, you should do it in increments. Like, do a 20-minute shoot, you know, a self-portrait of yourself, and then stop, look at the work, assess it, and be like, is this cool? Can I elevate it more? And then, you know, keep going and going. But don't do like 400 shots or 500 shots in one take, because you're just gonna tire yourself out. So kind of go into a self-portrait shoot, or like, you know, your own shoot that you set up with the exact concept in mind, so you don't stray away from it. And, you know, exact poses that you want. Like, you have to be prepared, and I think that's the key to figuring it all out. That's like a short answer, but I hope it answered your question, that just balance in wearing all your hats, okay? And, you know, also ask for help from your friends. Like, I'm sure they'd be down to help you, down to style, so you don't have to do everything yourself. And then later on, when you develop your work, you develop your aesthetic, you develop your brand, etc., and you feel like you're ready, hit up the photographers that you admire. Doesn't matter how big they are, you know, but they might not look at it, they might reply, you just don't know. So then that's when all the risk comes and all the thrill comes, and it's like, you know, one of the best parts about it. And yeah, that's when you can be like, I would love to create with you, this is my concept. And, you know, obviously be ready. I'm definitely going to share this little thread I wrote about how to connect with photographers and creatives and ask them to work, because essentially what you're doing to build your portfolio is free work, right? So have something prepared, have something that will, you know, kick it off. And yeah, and then, you know what, from there it's just gonna be like, I would love to work with you, I would love to work with you. And you guys know that I've worked with like over thousands of different creatives, because I shoot like a maniac, but something I love, and I love meeting new people. And I know that you could do exactly the same as me. You can even do it even better, you know what I mean? So just keep in mind about which photographers you admire, which makeup artists you think you'd vibe with. And that's really the key, is like the vibes, it's the energy. Like, say, okay, if I contact this makeup artist, are we gonna be cool on set? Are we gonna have our visions in line? And that's the key that I look for when people want to work with me. It's like, okay, does their work look like it can, you know, help me grow? Does their work look like it can inspire me? You know, can we create magic? And most of the time it's a yes, because I trust my intuition. I say yes to a lot of newer artists. I take that investment. And yeah, that's like the fun part. So, you know, once you go to building your portfolio and your work, you can start hitting up really cool people and just create some amazing things. And let me tell you, that will cycle over and over and over again. So you're just gonna have so many new creatives to work with all the time. Keep in mind that creatives want to work with people who are confident, people who like know what they want. You don't want to work with someone who is timid or shy, because it kind of shows you like you don't believe in your work. So make them, just through your work, show them that you believe in your work, you believe your work is valuable, and that is why they should work with you. So yeah, that is kind of all I have to say on that topic. I'm going to stop this, and we're going to move on to the next one.